Could Southern Africa be part of the solution to Germany's energy woes? That is the hope of Economy Minister Robert Habeck as he visits two countries in the region, both of which are looking toward green hydrogen production. Mr. Habeck was in Namibia on Monday to support a $10 billion hydrogen project from a German firm. Today, he landed in South Africa. The war in Ukraine and the resulting loss of Russian natural gas imports has sent Habeck and the German government scrambling for alternatives. Well, we talk more about Germany's interest in Southern Africa in just a moment. First, let's take a look at why green hydrogen is such a focal point.
The most abundant element in the universe, hydrogen, is playing an increasingly prominent role in the race to ensure a successful transition to greener energy. The most common form of hydrogen as an energy source today is grey hydrogen. But it's not really a clean alternative as it produces tons of carbon dioxide during the production process. Then there is blue hydrogen. Some scientists say this causes more pollution than burning coal because it requires huge amounts of natural gas to produce. The only form of hydrogen that makes any real sense in terms of reducing our carbon footprint is green. Green hydrogen is created using electricity from renewable sources to split hydrogen from water.
You have to make sure that that hydrogen is actually being produced through an electrolyzer that's operating on 100% green renewable energy.
Right now, it's not possible to make enough green hydrogen electricity to replace fossil fuels. Environmental activists say coordinated strategies need to be put in place by industrial leaders and decision makers to scale up technologies and bring production costs down so that green hydrogen can be produced economically and securely.
All right, let's get more on this from DW Southern Africa correspondent Adrian Krisch. Adrian, why does the German government feel that Namibia is the preferred spot when it comes to creating green hydrogen?
Well, Chris, Namibia is a huge country with very few people, only 2.5 million people. There's a lot of sand, there's a lot of sun, there's a lot of wind, and there's the ocean next door. So the conditions are perfect for such a project. But we have to recall this is still very early stages. The minister signed a memorandum of understanding. Number of 10 billion euros was colported. People were talking about this kind of amount that needs to be invested before a project can kickstart. It could only start around 2025. The construction, and only in 2027, that's what they talk about, possible exports could happen for Germany, for example. So some people are rather skeptical and rather reluctant to push it in the dimensions that the government tries to, because of course they also have other massive projects in Africa in mind that didn't really materialize. Remember 10-15 years ago we talked about a massive solar project in the Sahara Desert. There was talks for years about a gas pipeline from Nigeria to northern Africa that hasn't happened up until now. So some people are skeptical, others say this could be a breakthrough if this project really happens.
Adrian, I want to talk to you about what Minister Habeck said, a quite a specific or quite an interesting quote here during this visit. He said, "The last thing we should accept is some kind of green energy imperialism." Now, he's referring to the time between 1884 and 1915 when the German Empire was an often brutal colonial power in which was then German Southwest Africa. So what does he mean specifically when he says he wants to prevent some sort of colonialism here?
I mean, 2 points, I think. One, yes, you're right, it's the colonial past of Germany, keeping in mind that there's still negotiations ongoing between the two governments about a possible reparations deal. But the second, and I think the more important part at this stage for the minister, is the point that Germany and other countries should not come to Namibia trying to find sources of energy and just take them away from there. Remember, Namibia and a lot of African countries desperately need energy. They need electricity on their own. There's a lot of countries here that has massive electricity problems. Tanzania, Zimbabwe, South Africa, where we are at the moment, where you have hours of load shedding, meaning no power a day for most of the citizens here, just because the system does not have enough energy and electricity. And also Namibia, as we speak, is importing most of its electricity. So first of all, it shouldn't be the idea of bringing only electricity to Europe. It also has to be the idea of creating income generation and source of electricity in these countries themselves.
DW Southern Africa correspondent Adrian Krisch. Adrian, thank you.